is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJPorr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Keg Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsor.
So here we go. Number 2 in the finals of the SJPorr World Beer Challenge. This is Jet A1 Amber Ale. Love the simplicity of the label. It's really cool. This is 36Y-46Z-93D. It is right at 4.5%. It is an amber ale, but let me read you a quick description from online. It says, this beer is an amalgamation of ingredients from around the globe. Golden Promise, love Golden Promise, lays the foundation. German Crystal gives flavor. And New Zealand Vienna and wheat deliver on complexity. Simcoe and Amarillo yields flavor along with a touch of Matueka. So all indications, including the label, seem to indicate a hoppy amber, on the hoppy end at least. And this thing is filled as full as humanly possible. I can barely see the top of the fill. So that also leads me to believe it has been keg conditioned and no hiss, or very, very little, because there's no room in there for it to harbor itself. So here we go. It looks really clear in the bottle. Tiny, tiny bit of, and I spilled it because it was so full. Tiny, tiny bit of sediment in the bottom. So I imagine it is keg conditioned. A really nice amber color. It is an amber ale. And I've got beer all over the table. Alright, so beautifully clear. I would pretty much consider that brilliantly clear. Nothing floating around. You've got a little bit of bubbles kind of streaming up from the bottom. A pretty substantial head on the pour, kind of a rocky. You got kind of a mix of some larger and smaller tightly packed bubbles in there. Really nice looking beer. It is an amber. It's on the lighter side of an amber color. But it's really nice. Really, really nice. Good looking beer for sure. So you can absolutely smell some of the hops. It's not going to be, it doesn't smell like it's going to be a malt forward amber. It smells like it's going to be slightly more hop forward. That head is sticking around. Yeah. You can smell a little, it's not, the hops are what you smell first, but it's not like punch in the face kind of hop character. You get some kind of resinous character. Ever so slight kind of pine, but you also have some tropical fruit notes there that I imagine is probably kind of coming from the mix of the Amarillo and the Matueka. Oh, but it's really nice. You don't get much malt character at all. Again, I said this on the light IPA. It's a little bit kind of just a slight biscuity character on the nose. Let's jump into this, get a taste. Cheers. Wow, that is... It's incredibly refreshing. It does. It's got a little bit of malt complexity to it, to where it's not like a one-note beer where you get kind of the same flavor throughout. You get a little bit of the... Excuse me, it's got decent carb in it. You get a little bit of the hop character at the front, along with a little bit of the malt character that kind of carries through. The initial hop flavor kind of fades, and then it slides into a little bit of kind of a little bit of almost like a berry character. Almost like a little bit of blueberry. That's really cool. There's enough complexity in the malt bill to where it's you can realize there's not one malt that's doing all the work here. And the kind of layers of the hops are really cool. You get a little bit of the piney citrusy, not citrus, sorry. You get a little bit of the piney resinous, a little bit of the tropical fruit in the front end of the hops. And then, like I said, at the end, you get almost like a berry flavor, like I would expect from maybe Mosaic. Maybe that's the Motueka. And there's a hint of lemon that sits in the aftertaste that's really pleasant, and it kind of finishes the beer off and makes it really refreshing, because a hint of lemon kind of right at the end can kind of brighten up the end of the palate, and it just ends very, very nicely. It's on it's kind of like a medium light body. The carbonation is probably sitting medium to medium high. It's really nicely carved. You give it just a little gentle swirl and you get a nice fluffy, really nice fluffy head back. Gets a little bit of lacing on the glass. The mouth feels nice. It's a really good beer. I can't taste any kind of fermentation flaws. No, it's really cleanly brewed. It's that lemon note that is really kind of just makes this where even with the color, it being an amber, technically, I mean, it's a little bit more amber by color than really nature to me. I mean, that didn't bother me. It won't affect a score. It's more just of almost like a darker, kind of a citrusy, lemony pale ale. But I guess it has some malt character in there. That's a really nice beer. And that's one that I would love to have at the beginning of summer, right before it gets real hot, but it's enough that it makes you want something refreshing. Cheers to the brewer. That is a nice beer. Really, really nice. I'm going to sit back and enjoy this. I'm going to get some scores down, and I'll see you on the next one. Once again, this is Jet A1 Amber Ale, 36Y-46Z-93D. Thank you for entering the challenge, and this is a treat. Cheers.